Now at 5 o'clock, the public and private battle to clear the streets of snow is in high gear as temperatures get set to plummet once again. I'll show you the snow removal effort that's become a lucrative side hustle coming up.
This winter storm has been impacting all of us, but especially small businesses. Hear from owners about how they've been managing and what you can do to help.
And court documents show a potential motive for the shooting of a Tippecanoe County judge and his wife at their home earlier this month. The latest tonight from Lafayette.
Connecting our communities with stories that matter. This is WRTV.
Now at 5 o'clock, I-70 on the city's east side is back open for the evening commute after icy conditions and multiple crashes led state police and INDOT to close it down around noon. The westbound lanes were closed at I-465 for about an hour to allow INDOT to come in and lay down salt in the area. It has been way too cold for salt to work effectively, but it warmed up just enough this afternoon to allow state and city crews to give it a try. Thanks for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. But that window may not last long as extreme cold warning is set to take effect now in just a few hours. Let's get right over to meteorologist Macy Tetrick, who's in tonight for Todd on this Storm Team Alert Day. Macy.
That's right. We're back into alert mode because I know we tried to freeze or we tried to melt a little bit earlier today, but now we're going to see that freezing again. Dangerous cold is ahead of us, whether that's the blue, the cold weather advisory, or some of you are highlighted in purple. That's an extreme cold warning, and both of these alerts will take effect at 10 o'clock this evening and last all the way through noon tomorrow. It is a day where we warmed up near 20 in Indianapolis, but temperatures already starting to fall now that the sun is setting. We're at 16 in Indianapolis. South of us, you can still see a couple people trying to hang on to the 20s, but it is going to get very cold very quick. We'll switch over now and look to our wind chills, and as that sun sets, we'll see wind chills falling below zero and look at where we are headed by early tomorrow morning. -10, close to -15. I would say close to -20 is possible by very early tomorrow morning, and that's the reason why we have those extreme cold warnings through this evening and into early tomorrow. Live look for you outside. Again, we've got that sunshine right now. A couple of you, though, as we switch over to radar, have seen just a couple snow flurries, so don't be surprised if you do see a couple flurries out there or maybe even some blowing and drifting snow as we are going to stay pretty windy through the overnight. Very cold tomorrow, just 17 degrees, and we'll stay cold for a while. We'll take a look at the extended forecast in just a little bit, Nicole.
Macy, thank you. The Marion County coroner is sending out a reminder tonight about staying safe in this cold weather. While further investigation is needed, the coroner said it's possible the extreme cold contributed to the deaths of 3 people in Indianapolis. One man was taken to the ER after being found in his residence with reportedly no heat. A woman was found outside her home in the snow next to a snow shovel. Another woman was found dead in her home suffering from possible hypothermia. They ranged in age from 59 to 69. The coroner urges all of us to check on elderly neighbors, make sure you have a reliable heat source, and go to a warming center or seek emergency help when heat is not available. Indy DPW crews continue their 12-hour shifts for snow removal and today began treating some areas with salt with slight rise in temperatures out there. The city says they are being strategic about it, primarily on bridge decks. Private contractors brought in to remove snow on residential streets under the city's new snow removal plan completed their work today. As of this morning, 8 of the 9 townships were done with just one Center Township route left at that time. They had until early this afternoon to get finished. Under the city's new policy, residential streets receive a single pass by contractors except in HOAs where the streets are privately maintained. As a reminder, contractors do not drop salt. Well, while the snow and slick roads continue to slow down traffic, it is speeding up some business for those armed with shovels and plows. I caught up with a group of young men who started shoveling to lend a helping hand. Now that act of kindness has snowballed into a side hustle.
The storm has passed, but the sound of shovels scraping pavement and plow blades clearing roads and parking lots lingers across central Indiana.
Yesterday we worked sun up until sundown.
Isaiah Darndries is in town for his mom's 50th birthday, but he's been braving the cold, shovel in hand, clearing snow.
My sister needed to get to work, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna shovel our driveway. And I saw our neighbors also needed shoveling. Then I was like, you know what? Let's just go around town. So we're really just clearing this out.
From driveways to a church parking lot, Isaiah and his brothers are making some extra cash by helping others dig out.
Stretch and use your legs, not your back. I did that. Had to take a break for a while. I showed my mom today.
There you go.
It's like a windshield, but then it's also, this is called the Aura Farmers. Okay, those are key.
Dan George was on his way to work when he saw the guys working.
They're out here with shovels, and they had a lot of work to do, and I thought I could just help them out real quick, and that was what my goal was.
From shoveling sidewalks to using snow blowers and even plowing parking lots, this snowstorm is keeping a lot of people busy. Since the snow stopped Sunday evening, Done Deal Enterprises has been working around the clock.
I've put in at least 12 hours a day because we're not just doing snow shovel. I'm also doing pullouts and tows. It's kind of strenuous, but once you get working, you're not cold no more.
He's not doing this work alone. His daughter is working right beside him.
She works very hard. She probably outworks us sometimes.
It's just really about helping people. It's better than just sitting inside.
From family teams to neighbors helping neighbors, this storm has left plenty of snow behind and plenty of people willing to dig in.
It's a way to feed our families and also serve the communities.
Well, Chad tells us that his daughter is learning a lot of life skills at just 15 years old and has a good work ethic getting out there and helping the business out. He tells us she doesn't just shovel, she also helps with his automotive business as well. Good to see there. Well, the winter storm is impacting all of us, but it has put extra stress on some small businesses. WRTV's Northside community reporter Casey Zanowick looks at businesses in her community and finds out what they want their customers to know.
So we're going back and forth. Do we open? Do we not open?
Things are a little slow.
It's been a little rough.
The past few days have been question marks for local business owners.
So we decided that we would close yesterday.
We were closed the past 2 days.
So we made the tough decision to close on Sunday.
A difficult choice can have big impacts.
It does change things. And January is already a hard month for a small business, so it's unfortunate. You get a big snow like this in January.
For a small business, is not an easy feat. That's how we stay in business. Is you have customers, you're selling goods.
While difficult, they know their customers will have their backs.
The online store is still pretty good. Packing up orders. People are calling and asking for open. People will trek to sort of make it over here, which is nice.
We always make it up. The people that don't come on Monday, they're going to make it up. They're going to find their way to get to Blue Mines other times in the week.
While it's been a tough couple of days, the message we got from all of these business owners is they're ready to get back to it. So whether you need groceries, some clothes, or just a cup of coffee, they're all open and ready to serve.
This isn't our first blizzard, so we're still in the game and here to help people.
We're just going to try to be here and do the best we can while we can.
Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be here all week.
In Broad Ripple, I'm your Northside community reporter, Casey Zanowick, WRTV.
We do have a traffic alert for you. We want to give you a live look at one of our INDOT traffic cameras. You can see the road is closed here. This is southbound I-65, closed about 2 miles south of Franklin near mile marker 86. You can see emergency vehicles there in the center of your screen. It appears there's a vehicle crash there in the middle of the interstate. Another piece of a vehicle off to the side. It's hard to see because it's a little distance away, but you're going to want to avoid this area. Again, I-65 southbound south of Franklin. The interstate is shut down, and you can see on the other side of the screen moving at just a crawl. You're going to want to take it slow if you do have to go on any interstates because there are icy patches all across the area. Well, this weather is also impacting kids all over the state of Indiana with delays, cancellations, and e-learning days. You can see the schools that have already called in about tomorrow running right now on the ticker at the bottom of your screen. That includes Carmel, Noblesville, Hamilton Southeastern, and Lebanon schools with a 2-hour delay. You can also check this list right now at WRTV.com. New video released today shows the moment suspects were taken into custody after a Tippecanoe County judge, Stephen Meyer, and his wife Kim were shot and injured. It happened at their Lafayette home less than 2 weeks ago. The video was shared as federal and local authorities publicly briefed the media on the shooting, for the first time today. Court documents state investigators believe the attack is tied to a broader plot involving a motorcycle gang. 5 suspects have been arrested. They face charges ranging from attempted murder to bribery and obstruction. Authorities say while the judge and his wife are recovering, the impact of this attack extends far beyond one family.
Violence or threats of violence against the judiciary or any public service is unacceptable. Attacks like this strike at the core of who we are as a civil society and erode the rule of law and will not be tolerated.
The Indiana Supreme Court Chief Justice appointed Cass County Superior Court Judge Lisa Swaim to serve as a special judge for this case. The suspects are expected in court tomorrow in Logansport. For the first time this flu season, the Indiana Department of Health reports 2 children have died from the illness. The latest report shows they are in the 5 to 11 age group. A total of 55 Hoosiers have died from the flu so far this season. The state also reports that flu activity has lowered to moderate. Still ahead on WRTV, we might still be riding that IU football high, but Big Ten basketball takes center stage in Indiana tonight with the Hoosiers hosting number 12 Purdue in Bloomington. Our Brad Brown has a preview. And some Central Indiana residents have a reminder for families whose loved ones may need additional attention as this cold weather lingers. Macy?
And unfortunately, as we take a look at some of our weather headlines, you're going to see a lot of those mentions about cold weather. Right now, roads are refreezing because we're getting cold again. Dangerously cold overnight, but that cold just continues through the forecast. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast and how long these will stick around coming up.
IU fans are still buzzing about the football team's national title run, but now basketball comes back to the forefront. The annual matchup against Purdue always gets some buzz. Sports anchor Brad Brown joins us here with a look ahead to tonight's action. Brad.
Live in Studio A on this Tuesday. Good evening, Nicole and everyone. A lot of us have spent most of January fully embedded with the IU football team, their championship run through the playoffs. Well, in the background of sorts, the first half of the Big Ten basketball season is moving along. IU hosts Purdue tonight. Always a big deal, yes, but let's be honest, this one snuck in a bit given the focus of the past 3 weeks. We'll start with Purdue. They come in after what's become a rare back-to-back set of losses in the Big Ten. Defeats by UCLA and Illinois. After a 7-0 conference start, have the Boilermakers looking to tighten some things up, specifically with their defense. They gave up 88 in that loss to Illinois. As for Indiana, the Hoosiers got a key road win at Rutgers last time out. IU will be scrambling for wins in these final 7 weeks to try and put together an NCAA tourney bid. Tonight, both teams will be trying to learn from their last outings.
When you're around, college sports and stuff, you understand all the different rivalries across the country, and there's a lot of good ones. And this is certainly, one of those that, is a pretty special rivalry, and certainly excited, for my first opportunity and our team's first opportunity to be a part of it.
Everybody's good. Everybody at this level is good. Everybody, can make you pay. But that's not all their guys there. But, they have a good mix of skill. And it really causes a lot of problems.
Purdue comes in ranked number 12 in the nation. It's the 10th straight meeting against IU that the Boilers are in the top 25. The teams will play at Mackey Arena on February 20th for the return matchup. We'll have more from the coaches coming up for you tonight on the news at 6, and we will have a recap because it's a late one for you Wednesday morning on GMI. We'll see you then.
All right, Brad, we'll see you then. Thank you. Today we learned the Indiana National Guard members who've been helping out during the severe weather will conclude their mission today. About 300 Guard members spent several days helping law enforcement in central and southern Indiana with public safety needs, including helping stranded motorists and attending to disabled vehicles. With sub-zero wind chills expected for much of central Indiana and Hamilton County for the next several days, frostbite can set in less than an hour. That heightens the danger for those living on the autism spectrum or suffering from dementia who might wander off. Scott Long, whose daughter Maddie is on the spectrum, and Sarah Bradley, whose mother Sue battled dementia, both know this fear firsthand.
You got to be like a chess champion. You got to be anticipating like 3 moves ahead, and sometimes the move is a whole move you weren't expecting.
It isn't always about doing more. It's about doing what works. So taking comfort in the things that you can provide as a routine for your loved one will make all of the difference, not just for your loved one, but for yourself.
Now, Scott and Sarah look to bring awareness to the risk for people like Maddie and Sue as temperatures drop while saving lives as a result. Well, with the temperatures dropping, man, it is very slick on some of the roadways because they are refreezing, and that is so dangerous.
It is. You know, we see so many crashes, so many people that have slid off the last couple of days, and I don't want people to let their guard down because a lot of the snow has been cleared now, but we're still going to be very, very slick, and we'll see that as we go forward. Take a look at this, though. This is an awesome drone video. You can see Indianapolis Motor Speedway there. Man, just a couple months from now, this is going to be a totally different picture, but right now Speedway is covered in all that snow. It's not just Speedway, even though this is awesome to look at the IMS right now and all the snow. It is all across central Indiana where we're seeing snow. Here's a live look for you outside, though, something we saw a little bit today. A little bit of some much needed sunshine, and that did help to melt things a little bit. But now that we've seen that sunshine out there, things are starting to refreeze. Another thing I will mention is that it is windy. We've got some wind gusts right now, anywhere from 15 to 20, even closer to 30 miles per hour at times. So it's quite windy, and we know it's that very light powdery snow that fell over the weekend. And so there is some blowing and drifting that is going on. So there could be some additional snow that is just being pushed back into the roads right now. This could briefly lower visibility. Most of us, you can see, doing a-okay at the moment, but just be cautious for blowing and drifting snow and that quick drop in the visibility. Now, as we head through the rest of the evening, now that the sun is setting, it's going to get very cold very quick. Temperatures themselves likely stay above freezing, at least before we get to midnight. We will see clear skies, though. We're continuing to see a little bit of that sunshine and the clear skies. This is the cold front pushing through. You'll see that on TrueCast. That continues to push the clouds out of the area. So we do have very clear skies overnight, which generally we like to see clear skies. It means sunshine. However, it is going to mean that it gets very cold and will stay very cold. And that's saying something since it's already been very cold ever since that winter storm this weekend. Wind chills as we look to early tomorrow morning. This is the reason why you're going to see a lot of those alerts that are popping up on your screen, because we could have some wind chills. -15, I would say closer to even -20 is possible by very early tomorrow morning. That is dangerously cold, where you want to limit your time outdoors if you can. I'm thinking about those kiddos who will be out there at the bus stop early tomorrow morning. Roads could continue to refreeze, not just tomorrow morning, but this evening as well as you're getting out. So just be cautious as you're getting out on the roads. That extreme cold is in place, actual temperatures below zero early tomorrow morning, and still quite windy as well. High temperatures as we look to tomorrow. Not much of an improvement. In fact, a little bit cooler, I think, tomorrow. High of around 17 for Indianapolis. As we end the week, it's going to be very similar. No relief in sight. 13 on both Thursday and Friday. The good news, not a whole lot of snow chances ahead of us. We will begin to see a little bit more of that northerly wind flow, and so that could mean some lake effect, and that would be for areas that are north of Indianapolis, but it's possible we see just a couple flurries as we round out our week. Looking ahead, we're trying to see a warm up, and we'll get to 20 by Sunday, 24 Monday, and then 25 on Tuesday. Best chance for snow, I think, will be Sunday overnight as we look to Monday, so we'll keep an eye on those snow chances. WRTV will be right back.
Download the WRTV app today.
Welcome back. We want to give you another live look out at the roadways. This is southbound I-65. It is closed here in this area. This is about 2 miles south of Franklin, closed near mile marker 86. This is due to a crash. You can see it on the right side of your screen there. Emergency vehicles on scene. Not much has changed just in the last 15 minutes, so avoid this area. And up in Fishers, take a look at this. Another crash. This is I-69 southbound. Fishers police tweeted just a short time ago. Southbound I-69 to exit 204 is at a standstill due to a serious crash. All southbound traffic is being diverted to 106th Street, so avoid that area as well. Should the 10 Commandments be displayed in public schools and libraries? Lawmakers at the State House are weighing that question this week. The bill would add the 10 Commandments to a list of protected writings. Other items on the list include the U.S. Constitution and the national anthem. This bill would require all school libraries to keep a copy of the 10 Commandments. Individual principals and teachers would have the ability to display them in school. The author of the bill believes the 10 Commandments can provide moral guidance for students.
I feel like our kids today have lost their way. We need some moral guidance, and I think the 10 Commandments is a time-tested, true document that tells our young folks how they should be acting and helps kind of give them a moral compass.
The bill would not allow teachers or principals to read the 10 Commandments out loud if students are present. The legislation passed out of committee along party lines and now heads to the House for further consideration. Dozens of people gathered at the State House in Indianapolis today for Holocaust Remembrance Day, 81 years after the liberation of the Nazi death camp at Auschwitz-Birkenau in 1945. The Indiana Civil Rights Commission, the Indianapolis Jewish Community Relations Council, and the Candles Holocaust Museum hosted the program to remember and reflect. During the ceremony, the White Rose Society honored filmmaker Ted Green and Butler University Associate Athletic Director Graham Honecker, who have partnered on a film about Eva Kor, who, along with her twin sister Miriam, was a victim of experiments by SS Dr. Joseph Mengele.
I'm proud that the Kor story is going to go onto the big screen, that it is going to be made into a major motion picture, and that the company producing it has Hoosier roots.
Honecker also helped establish the Eva Kor Scholarship and other Holocaust education opportunities at Butler University. Driver data for sale. The BMV sells some of your personal information, but for the first time, the BMV has agreed to answer questions about why they do this. That's tonight at 6. When you think of snow, you probably don't think about fire hydrants, but next at 5:30, you really should. What you can do right now that could make a difference.